thanks for watching Four Color Commentary. I'm Mark Allen. I hope you don't mind if I get comfortable for this video. I like this setting so much more than when I used to stand back there. And true, you can see a lot more of my mess back there, but I am eBaying again and I'm selling some comics, so I'm cutting up cardboard and all that kind of good stuff. So anyway, I did want to share a little bit of a comics haul with you. And as I enjoy a cup of coffee, just for a moment. Yes, my coffee cup does say Mr. Right. And my wife says, no joke, Mrs. Always Right. Okay, so there you go. We got those for Valentine's Day a couple of years ago. So anyway, went to a place in Oklahoma City. It's only the second time I've ever been there. It's a great shop called Deadlift Collectibles. Now, if you're ever in Edmond, Oklahoma, which is just situated just outside of Oklahoma City, if you're ever in Edmond and you look up Deadlift Collectibles and you Google it, you go to Google Maps or whatever, don't be thrown off when you get there and you see a place called The Vault, because the owner of Deadlift, who is a deadlifter, weight guy, he never got around to getting a new sign. So it is Deadlift Collectibles, even though it says The Vault outside. So some of you I know sometimes travel to Oklahoma City area. I know Michael Smith has Night Tiger has even been to my neck of the woods before because he's a trucker, truck driver. So so anyway, Deadlift Collectibles in Oklahoma City, great place to visit. And I'm going to start. I wandered in, unbeknownst to me, on on the middle of a sale, and they called it their apology sale. And I think it was because they'd had some issues with staff and such as that, and couldn't keep the regular hours they wanted to. So some I guess customers were inconvenienced or some such, but in very classy style, the owner put on what he called an apology sale. So everything, basically most everything, was half off comic wise. The wall books I think were 20-30%, something like that, but dollar books were a quarter, and then their $2 books were $1, $4 books were $2, and whatever was marked was half what it was marked. So there you go. And so we'll start with the 25 centers. I actually went away. I know everybody listening to this probably, unless we have some really young comic collectors and readers, remember CrossGen Comics. And CrossGen was a company that showed a lot of hope, a lot of potential. There was some great titles there. What I did, though, I found a bunch of quarter books from a title that I had never read before. A title by great writer, great artist, Ron Marr's writing, Bart Sears doing the art on most of these issues. And I decided, why not, for a quarter a piece, for just $3 and a quarter, get 13 issues of this series I'd never read before, called The Path. The Path, this is the prequel. And so you had The Path, and then The Path issue 1. This is a samurai tale. The Path issue 2. These are all a quarter. Okay. The Path issue 3. I picked this up because it had the feel, or the look and the feel, of a sweeping epic. And I love the samurai tales and such as that. Issue 4 with a great picture of a samurai there on the front. Issue 5. A word about Bart Sears' art. Of course, came along, I think, in the 90s. Maybe did some independent stuff in the 80s. I don't remember, but in the 90s came along. And here's issue 6. His some detailed work, but very, what I'd say, visceral. Very visceral, very emotive. All of his heroes and villains looked formidable, very formidable. Issue 7. Nobody did musculature like Bart Sears. And that's why I think his look was just so, his style was so unlike anyone else's when he came along, at least in my estimation. There's issue 8. And so I'm looking forward to reading this. Hopefully it will be the epic that it seems to be. Issue 9. Love the covers. Covers are very emotive, even though they're somewhat obscured in a way. Issue 10. Okay, issue 11. And issue 12. And so looking forward to That being a cool ride, reading at least the first 13 issues, counting the prequel, first 13 issues of The Path by Ron Mars and Bart Sears. A couple other quarter books. This is one of those independents that I had seen for years in dollar boxes and cheaper. The first one is from Amazing Comics. Now it is it is actually, I guess I should probably show these in the proper order. This is I didn't do my research on this, but I've seen these before. Started out as a Pacific Comics property, or I should say put out by Pacific Comics. It actually is by writer Roger McKenzie, well-known comic writer for decades. Roger McKenzie and artist Pat Broderick. This is Sunrunners. A very beautiful, beautiful cover. This is actually after both of them had already been established in the comic art. I mean, in the comics world. I'm thinking about Broderick, especially having done Captain Marvel, I think as far back as the 70s in the, maybe Captain Marvel's own book, but in one of the other, like Marvel Premiere or something like that, that had Captain Marvel stories. But Broderick is a solid artist, always has been a solid artist, very detailed also in his work. And so Sunrunners, this was from 1984, issue number 1. But I found the reason why I picked up this next one, and you know I like my my independents, I like my indies, especially from the 80s. But I picked this one up because it is early work of Kelly Jones. This is Sunrunners Christmas Special. The cover is by Jones, and the interior art is by Jones. It's kind of, you know, I have that series. I've had the series, 3 or 4 issue miniseries for years, called Chrome, which is a Kelly Jones art job. I don't remember who wrote it, but there's the opening page there, and you can tell that's Kelly Jones. You can tell it's early Jones work. You know, just really cool stuff. And that's also written by Roger McKenzie. And so I'm really kind of interested and looking forward to tearing into this, not literally, but, you know, getting into this indie series. And, you know, that's one of the great things about comics. No matter how long you've been reading comics, there's always something new. I mean, I'm 55, and I've been reading and collecting comics for over 40 years. And there's always something new to discover out there. Now, this one, I picked it up on a whim. It was a quarter, so who cares? It's pretty much beat to heck. I think it's a 1970s, late 70s book. Mickey Mouse and Goofy explore energy conservation. I just found that interesting. It's obviously a, public, now what do you call those? Anyway, it's for educational consumption, okay? One of those kind of books has different design on the cover, on the back cover as well. I just thought that was kind of neat. Didn't have it in my collection, and it's okay if it's a beater. It's very cool for the information of it and the knowledge that it's out there. Okay, pardon me. All right, next. This is an interesting book, interesting title that I read for a while when it was first coming out. Trippy, very trippy. Animal Man by Grant Morrison and Doug Trug, the artist, with great, at the time, wonderful Brian Boland covers. The reason why I picked this particular book up again, however, it's kind of on a whim. They had it, the pink stickers were $2, which meant it was $1. I believe that this contains the first black Superman character. And it's just a single panel, but let me explain for a moment. This book, of course, it does have, one of the villains in it is the Psycho Pirate. And in this story, the Psycho Pirate is the only individual who remembers all of the different heroes from different Earths that were phased out during the crisis on Infinite Earths. And he actually brings a few of them back for a short time for this story. And there's some strange ones here. But on the what will end up being your far right here, there is a trio from basically a hippie world. Okay, that represent Superman, the Flash, and Green Lantern. And they're from the Love Syndicate of Dream World, okay? So you have there Sunshine Superman, Speed Freak, and what's his name? Magic Lantern. You're right here. I believe that is the first black Superman, at least the first black Superman that I know of. And so Sunshine Superman, I'd actually been wanting to get this book back in my collection for a while, just for that appearance, okay? Plus, you know, you just can't go wrong with the Bolin covers. It amazes me. Everyone always makes out so much over the Brian Bolin covers on the Wonder Woman series. But they never mentioned the Animal Man series, and they were great covers as well, okay? But it was, I mean, again, I'll say again, Animal Man, it was kind of out there. It was kind of a weird read sometimes. All right, here's another one. Let's get to some, what would have been $4 ended up being $2 books. Captain Marvel, number 42, a Bronze Age Marvel. Okay, so nice for $2, okay? Captain America, I did say Captain Marvel, right? Captain Marvel, okay. Captain America, $237 for $2. This is pretty sure this is Sal Buscema Interiors. I had this one as a kid. I always loved that cover though. With Captain America leaping the fray on his motorcycle through the gunfire and vaulting the fence, the barbed wire fence, just all good stuff. Vaulting the sandbags, I should say. About to plow right into the big middle of a bunch of Nazis, and so great stuff there. Okay, another $2 book that was $4, and the half price makes it $2. This was a big, thick, heavy, Incredible Hulk number 600. This was during the Jeff Loeb Ed McGuinness run. I don't remember this book, and I was reading Hulk at the time, Incredible Hulk, during that run, but I don't remember this one. It could be the amazing Tim Sale cover. That may be why I don't remember it. But I'd never seen this cover before. And I do like Sale's work. I don't go out of my way to collect it, but I like it. And since I didn't remember this one, and it was only $2 for a book that, even when it came out was over twice that cover price, I thought, yeah, no brainer. So I picked that up. That'll be a good read, because all that run of Jeff Loeb and Ed McGuinness on Hulk was a great read. It was fun, lots of fun. A couple of Fantastic Fours. Fantastic Four number 157. That was $2.50 because it was marked $5. Another one that was marked $5 for $2.50 was $1.58. Okay, those are in nice high grade. Love the white cover on this, nice and bright, and no soiling on that cover at all. It's great. I love it. Okay, like I said, this was only my second experience at Deadlift Collectibles, but I both times I've been able to find quality books there for good prices. One of the few places that I've heard of that actually do occasionally, you'll find, especially when they put new stock in their dollar books, you'll find the occasional Silver Age book in their dollar books. Okay, so again, if you're ever in the Oklahoma City, Edmond area, look up Deadlift Collectibles. All right, Captain America and the Falcon 191 at $7, so $3.50. Great Sal Buscema cover. This was not, however, Sal Buscema interiors. They were Frank Robbins interiors. I cannot help it. As much as I've read of Frank Robbins stuff, I've read many comics with Frank Robbins interiors. I've tried to like his art. I just can't do it. Now, there are Frank Robbins fans out there. I'm well aware. His expressions and I just let me see if I can find a really good example here. Here we go. Here's the Falcon in much distress, but I just can't wrap my head around his expressions and facial features and contortions of bodies and such as that. I just can't do it. And I realize every artist, for this guy to, have done as much art as he did for Marvel, he had to have fans. People must have liked his work. I'm just not one of them. But I do love the Bronze Age Captain America run to a book. So I got it. All right, enough of that. $10, March $10, so $5. Where Monsters Dwell, number 7, with some, of course, classic Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko penciled Golden Age stories in here. So great stuff there. Rambo. You just gotta love some of the names that Jack and Stan came up with. I say Jack and Stan because I assume that Jack had some input there. Stan always kind of makes it sound like, or he always might may he rest in peace, but he always made it kind of sound like he came up with those names. I know that he had to have help from time to time. So anyway, all right. And then this one, I was really, a few more here. These next 3, the next 4, I was really happy to get. Come here. Here we go. Some people ask about him sometimes. Here, oh, no, he's not Stan. There's Oliver, or Possum. Okay, I guess he's going to be partially in the, he's gotten big. Okay, I was really happy to get these next 4. This is DC Special number 15. This is Plastic Man. I haven't even cracked this yet. This is talking about this says, the sensational origin of Plastic Man and Plastic Man's pal Woozy Winks, his origin too. I'm hoping these are Jack Cole stories reprinted. So I'm going to open it up and find out. Because here's the thing. I've always loved Plastic Man as a character. And I've had a friend of mine, Michael McCormick, who is a former owner of Comic Empire of Tulsa. He's got the entire hardcover reprints of the Jack Cole Plastic Mans. And it's been a years-long desire of mine to acquire those as well. And so it's a character that I've always wanted to get started on. But I do believe, yes, these are the Jack Cole. These are the Jack Cole stories. And this is the original, the original first story, origin story of Plastic Man. Let me just give you a few panels here. So reprinting the Jack Cole Plastic Man. And then it looked like there was a really kind of a cool splash story here. Let's see here. Yeah, Plastic Man. This looks like, yes. This is originally published in Police Comic number 13, November 1942. Plastic Man, stop, look, and read. And down there at the bottom it does say by Jack Cole. So very cool stuff there. I was glad to see this. It was marked at $11.99, so $12. Got it for $6 all day long. I'll do that. And so love the cover as well. I'm not sure who did that cover. There is a G. Someone tell me whose trademark or signature stamp, whatever you want to call it, that is. It's a G, just a single G. I'm not sure who drew that cover, but maybe somebody out there knows. All right. That'll be some fun reading. All right. 3 more. I'm ticking off this series finally. Ticking off a couple more issues. For this one for $9, so I got it for $4.50. The Joker number 4. Finally starting to get more issues. Talk about few and far between. I used to have the whole run, of course. Story of my collecting life. Used to have the whole run. I let it go when it was doing absolutely nothing. This would have been probably late 90s, mid to late 90s. Of course, these days you can't, it's hard to lay your hands on them. And this is a really nice, higher grade copy. So for $4.50, absolutely. And then, of course, I should note, there's a Green Arrow appearance in there. I guess that's Green Arrow's girlfriend he's got tied up there. Kind of a Green Goblin Spider-Man type scenario, all right? Gwen Stacy, I should mention. All right, and number 6, Joker number 6. Love this cover, always have. The Joker and Sherlock Holmes both announcing they have the other traps. I've got you now. I've got you now. You're my prisoner at last. That's what it is. Aha, you're my prisoner at last. So I love that. Can't wait to read that again because, quite honestly, I don't remember much about it. So, and then lastly, this was, and I should say that was $12, so I got that for $6. All right. And then lastly, This is actually my second copy of this, but this, to my mind, is a, you know how this goes. This is a rare book in the wild for me, for this area of our state. And I'd never seen it before until like the last year or so. And then in the last year or so, I've found 2 of them in the wild. But this was marked at $7.99, so $8, so about $4. The Micronauts #1. It is a 15-cent book. It is a gold key. I want to say 1970 maybe. Let's see if I'm right. 70 to 71, somewhere in there. I don't think it's 60s, but I could be wrong. This is a 1971. So anyway, I love that cover, that painted cover, and lots of fun there. So anyway, there's my Deadlift Collectibles haul. And again, I'll punch that, promote them one more time. Oklahoma City area, Edmond area, Deadlift Collectibles. Deadlift Collectibles says the vault on the sign at the top, over the door. So be ready for that. But anyway, hey, listen, thanks for watching, and trying to get back to doing regular videos again. But hey, listen, if you go ahead and like the video, absolutely. If you haven't subscribed, do that as well. And so, but I love our comics community on YouTube. We have a bunch of great guys and gals who really know their stuff and really have fun with comics. And I'll just say this: what I notice about our community is, everybody's always ready to help, or everybody's always ready to share. There's what do you call it? There's the gift books that are flying back and forth between people and stuff like that, and it's just always so cool. And so I like that very much. And anyway, so just be a part however you can. Certainly, if you don't have your own channel, start your own channel. Just share what you like. Share what you like to read. It's not about what's hot. It's not about what is the hot book or the book you must read. It's about what you like. Because sure enough, you start a channel on books that you like, okay? And even though it may start slow, what you're going to do is you're going to start finding other people out there who say, hey, I like that book too. I like what you like. So keep it going. And so just do your own thing. But otherwise, if that's not your thing, that's fine. But watch the videos because they are educational. I learn all the time about stuff I didn't know about, books I didn't know about, by watching some of the other people in the comics community on YouTube. So watch what you like, read what you like, and thanks for watching 4 Color Commentary, and I'll see you next video.